Hey guys, it's been a while since I've posted anything. Life just gets in the way. Things have been hectic in my world. But I wanted to share something that happened this morning. So, for the past few days, I'd been in Denver for a conference. And as I was flying back from Denver to Atlanta, I was seated next to a woman on a plane, her and her companion. And let me go ahead and say right now, I will fly, but I am not a fan of flying. Okay. I'm not a fan of flying, especially if I'm flying without my husband or, without my son. I'm not a fan, not at all. So I'm already on edge because I'm traveling without either one of my guys. And so plane takes off, probably about 30 minutes into the flight, we begin to, have some turbulence, right? I hate turbulence with a passion, but that's neither here nor there. But evidently, the woman next to me is not a fan of turbulence either because she proceeds to kind of freak out a little bit. And with her, she started hyperventilating, she started shaking. Um, it was obvious to me at the time that she was having a panic attack. As a matter of fact, she went so far as to say to her companion, I'm having a panic attack, blah, blah, blah. And so he's holding her hand. He's telling her to calm down. He's telling her to, take deep breaths, all the things that you're supposed to do, right? So we level out and everything's cool. She's still kind of shaky, but it's not as bad. So then we hit more turbulence. And this time it's kind of rough, to the point where I'm like praying, like, God, please don't let this plane fall from the sky. I just can't do this. And she freaks out again. And so the gentleman she's with, he proceeds to give her some water. And then he went into her bag and gave her some pills. So I'm assuming, considering the fact that she has panic disorder like I do, he's probably giving her a Xanax or a Valium to level her out so she can relax. And the turbulence is still happening, it's shaky. And I turn and look at her just as her body locks up. I mean, locks. She goes like that. And I'm not doing that to be funny, but that's literally the sound she made. And she started foaming at the mouth. I freaked out because the last time I had seen someone have a seizure was a long time ago when I was a kid, and it was my younger cousin, and that was scary. So I immediately jump out of my seat. I hit the button for the flight attendant and I yelled out, is there a doctor on board? And I screamed again, is there a doctor on board? And two nurses and an ER physician came forward, and I was telling them, I was like, she's having a seizure, whatever. So they pushed me out of the way and they're attending to her, and she's unresponsive, and that freaked me out because that just freaked me out. So here we are, who knows how many um, miles in the air. We're experiencing turbulence. Uh, this woman is having a seizure. I am praying, literally praying that she does not die. Um, and it was just a very, very scary thing. And it was one of those situations. I had another passenger grabbed me and was like, come on, sit down. You need to calm down. It's obvious that you're upset. And who wouldn't be, And so I sit down. I ask another flight attendant to bring me a glass of wine because I'm scared and all I want is my husband, but that's impossible. There was no way for me to call him or anything like that. And so I'm worried about her. I am hoping and praying that I don't have a panic attack because I definitely didn't want to have one at that time. And my heart's racing and I'm feeling lightheaded. And it took them um, maybe 45 minutes to get her She comes back around. It didn't take long for her to come back around. She regained consciousness, thank God. And but she's still shaking, and her hands are still locking up, and she has no control over her hands. And it was just insane. And so, and mind you, we're only, like I said, we're probably about 30 at this point. We're probably about 30, 45 minutes into the flight. We still have 2+ hours left in this flight. And so I didn't know if they were going to do an emergency landing. I didn't know what they were going to do, but evidently the physician on board and the people that they spoke to on the ground, um, based upon her current condition, like I said, she'd come around, she was talking, she knew who she was, she knew where she was, but she kept mumbling, the plane is going to go down, the plane is going to go down. That wasn't helping at all, because if you're on a plane, the last thing you want to hear is someone saying the plane is going to go down. And so my nerves were just all over the place. But we made it to Atlanta safe and sound. The EMTs were waiting for her when we landed. They actually came on board to escort her off the plane. Her companion had indicated that to his knowledge, she'd never had a seizure before, and so it was just crazy. She just kept apologizing for what happened. She was embarrassed. Don't know why. I told her there was no need for you to be embarrassed. I'm just glad that you're okay. Um, and yeah, that was probably the craziest flight I've ever been on in my life. Now, mind you, I don't live in Atlanta. I needed to take another flight to get to South Carolina, where I live, and I did not want to get on another plane. I really wanted to just call my husband and say, "Okay, I'm gonna need you and our son to get in a car and drive to Atlanta and pick me up, because I'm not getting on another plane." But I didn't want to do that, so I didn't. But um, so yeah, that was scary, and I don't have a message from that. I just wanted to share what happened. So you guys make today great. Remember, it's okay not to be okay, and I'll be chatting with you guys soon. Later.